Greetings, and welcome to my Pecha Kucha for LDT 550, also known as the answer to my husband's repeated question, "What are you doing, geek?" The purpose of this presentation is to highlight my work this semester for the Design Studio course. This geek has been very busy this semester. I chose the design modules for HTML, CSS, jQuery, video editing, Adobe Photoshop, and Adobe Illustrator. In addition, I participated in 6 design activities, 4 in groups of varying sizes, and 2 on my own. The first design module I completed was HTML, CSS, jQuery. I've made websites before, but I haven't worked with HTML since 2008. Wow, has a lot changed. I pretty much had to start over from scratch and create a new fabulous cheat sheet of code. Using Dreamweaver was helpful in organizing the layers and pages. Building a separate CSS page was a bit rocky, but only at first. Using a somewhat different language and symbols needed just a little adjustment. Once I had that down, I felt that I needed multiple pages and links, so I set about to creating a larger site and making it all mesh together. jQuery was more challenging, and I had the most difficulty with the movable object. Long story short, it moves. Hey, cool! And time to move on to video editing. Although I did focus on my video project during my desk crit, I am including it here because I enjoyed the topic and I like making videos. This video is called Cinder's Story, Out of the Flames into the Kitchen. It is the story of my kitten Cinder, who was rescued by my husband Charlie when he and his engine company were battling a house fire in November 2015. For this video, not only did I use a green screen to recreate my husband battling a fire, I found green screen effects on YouTube to create the newscast and cooking show sequences. I found Adobe Premiere Pro difficult to navigate, so I switched back to my trusty Movie Maker. I did need to find a way to incorporate the green screen effects in Movie Maker. None of the add-ins worked, so I found a free app, the Simple Green Screen app, through which I could easily combine the photo or video and the background. Then it was simply a matter of dropping the doctored video or photo into the film timeline. Back to Adobe CC, this time for Photoshop. After tutorials, Mike, Reese, and I chatted during a hangout about the 2 classes we were taking this semester as we created layers and played with colors to create our Bauhaus pictures. I was pleasantly surprised with my end result. For the collage, I used a variety of old photos that I had scanned in to preserve, as well as photos taken on a Canon Digital and my iPhone. I set about creating my layers, sizing, and configuring. The background of my banner is a photo that I took inside the light of Getungenfjord, the lighthouse off the coast of Skudeneshavn, Norway, where my maternal ancestors are from. I added my 2 family crests, Hayho and Simpson, on the ends, then gave my text a 3D effect with some shadowing. I am not at all artistic, so I found the Adobe Illustrator module to be my least favorite. Trying to recreate the checkmark was tedious at best. I switched back and forth between the tablet and desktop modes to manipulate the pen and tracing tools, and still wound up with an alfalfa hair sticking out the top of the image. I moved on to the logo and decided to use the mock trial team that I coach as my theme. I studied the basic scales of justice, recolored to as close to gold as possible using only black lettering because our school colors are black and gold. The arms of the scale were such weird shapes to manipulate, and I had trouble lining up the chains of the scale. I am very familiar with undo. The timeline you see is a broad overview of our plan for next season. After studying a variety of timeline templates, which had many embedded layers, I just imitated the shapes and shading for each section of our timeline and used text boxes with an easier to read font. I added a layer and gray gradient background. For design activity 1, I was partnered with Andrew Gray. Andrew was a very good sport and designed some fabulous gardening tools for me. His tool tote to organize and transport my new tools was brilliant. For Andrew, I tried to create a solar oven that would break down to sections that were easily carried on a tool belt. Well, it sure looked great in my head. For Apps for Education, I worked with Kevin Bauer, Nicole Conway, and Perry Van Boom. We designed Life Trail after a discussion during which we fondly reminisced about Oregon Trail and the game of life. We combined these two favorites to create a gaming app that learners could play as they applied skills learned in school to real-life scenarios. I worked with Eric Ballack, Genevieve Brogdon, and Nicole Conway for the grading student work activity. We looked at a variety of rubrics and methods of monitoring oral fluency in reading before we created our app. We added badges and levels to engage students, and added library building features so that teachers could customize their reading selections. My desk crit session was focused on Cinder's story. As I had done for the second and third activities, I built my crit session in PowerPoint, then used Office Mix to record my voiceover and export to a video file. The Office Mix feature makes it much easier to create video presentations and alleviates the need to screencast. Eric Ballack, Karis Doss, Irene Duda, Tom Jakovlik, Mike Reese, Rusty Seitz, and I had a really interesting discussion about current trends in learning design. We went beyond our readings in the Horizon report to consider creating learning environments that would appeal to all students, male and female, and that would be accessible to and comfortable for everyone. The final design is this Pecha Kucha. I preset the slide timing and animations to adhere to the time requirement. Office Mix made it very easy to record and to export the video. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of my solo and group work for this course. Thank you for watching.